Good morning, my XRP army, my tribe, everybody out there in YouTube land. Welcome once again to the show, the Joe Show, the XRP Army Show. What do we got for you today? Well, my thoughts are, been hearing all kinds of things. I've take quite a few videos from different sources to kind of hear different takes on things, different sides, and put together my own opinion on things. I think everybody should do that. So let's talk about Ethereum versus XRP versus Bitcoin. In the realm of reality, let's set all manias aside. Which one comes out on top as being the world's dominant international financial transaction medium? First, let's tackle Bitcoin. Bitcoin can do, 5 to 10 transactions per second. That to me just right there says no. You're not going to have that. It just not going to work. SWIFT alone, which handles 50% of the world's international transactions, moves 5 trillion per day. How many transactions does that break down into? Probably quite a lot. People can't be sitting around waiting for their money. That's the problem with the SWIFT system as it is. So if you're going to redo something, you jump light years ahead of that. My opinion, so says I. And who am I? I'm nobody. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I just look at it in reality. And then, SWIFT moves quadrillions of dollars per year. How much Bitcoin is available to move around? Is there enough? And at what price does it have to go to? Does it have to be $1 million? A lot of people are saying it's going to $1 million within the next 12 months. Does it have to be 10 million? 100 million? Don't know. But the liquidity has to be there. So I don't see Bitcoin as being able to be a currency. It is a store of value. I know it started out to be a currency, but it was more like, let's just play around with this and people will buy pizza with it, right? People aren't going to buy pizza with Bitcoin. What needs to be replaced in the world's transaction system is the international transfer of money. There's no problem with Visa. There's no problem with your debit card. You go in and buy a pizza with your debit card and it's instant. What are the machinations behind all of that? I don't know. Do they give a pending and it piles up until the computer can crunch all the numbers? I don't know, but it's handled. There's no need to change that. Could it be changed, and could there be advantages to changing it for common people like you and me? Yeah, but no one cares about you and me. So Bitcoin's not a currency. It can operate as a currency between two people or this, that, or the other, but in a structured system such as SWIFT for international transactions, no. I just, nope, don't see it. Don't see it. There is zero indicators that it will function that way on a grand scale. Could it operate between two countries? Sure. On a limited basis, it could function just fine. How about Ethereum? Well, number one, ISO 20022, and its non-compliance with that. Banks don't want to touch it because they can't tell where it came from, and that leads into RICO territory, and they're just not going to They're not going to play with that. And can Ethereum handle the volume? Absolutely can. Why? Because with the keystroke, not a stroke of a pen, but a keystroke these days, they can create as much Ethereum as they want. Let that sink in. What's the problem with the US dollar or any paper currency? They can print as much as they want, anytime they want. That's not even printing anymore. Again, it's just a keystroke on a keyboard. And all the money they want just magically appears and everything starts to inflate. The same thing will happen with Ethereum if it tries to operate as a currency. It's going to be inflated. If it's adopted on mass scale, there will have to be inflation. And you're right back where you were. It's just a digital dollar. And there stands XRP. 100% compliant, ISO 20022 compliant. There is enough out there to function as a SWIFT system. How much more? I don't know. Can you go in and buy a pizza with it? You probably could. Are the speeds there? Not sure. It wasn't, my understanding is it was not designed to be a Visa card. It is designed to be an international transfer mechanism. And that is where that's where it's designed. That's where its niche is. That's what it's driving towards. Can't be printed. They can't introduce more of it, with the caveat that if enough of the primary actors behind it got together, they could probably manipulate it. Now, another neat thing about XRP is there's no proof of work and no proof of stake. Either one of those are required with either Bitcoin or Ethereum. None of that with XRP. Those things are the primary drivers in my mind as to why you will see XRP come out on top in the long run, is in the realm of international settlements. Bitcoin will continue to be a store of value. I don't see that changing. There's too much momentum in that direction. And there's only how many? 41 primary holders of Bitcoin? That 41 bags hold the majority of it? Yeah, they're gonna protect that. XRP is a rare thing too. There's only about 1.5 to 2 million unique bags. There's about 6 million bags out there, but how many of those are people that lost their keys or the bag sitting around with 0.001? It's got one drop in it because somebody moved it because they felt it was compromised because they lost a piece of paper they wrote their keys on or whatever. So I don't see that happening. Yeah, it's going to be XRP, and if you own XRP, you are in an elite club. And that club is going to pour goodness all over you if you hold. Understand what you're holding. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I advise you to do your own research. But if you do, I am quite confident it will lead you to the same location that it led me. And that is that XRP is going to be monumentally valuable on the near horizon. That's what I got for you today, folks. God bless y'all. Take care. And I'm out.